there any additions, corrections as for approval of the minutes, previous meeting?
Nope, looks good to me. I move to approve.
Okay, second. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, Dean.
All right, hopefully a pretty short report. Looks like revenue has continued to be strong in May. So we're still about $100,000 ahead of budget. And when I compare to previous years, just in core revenue, that is, we're almost 150,000 over our previous best total through May. So it's all very promising. First half of June looks like it's going well so far too. Our merchandise continues to be through the roof, almost double what we've budgeted. And food and bev have picked up and our strongest totals to date as well. So bottom line is looking good so far. Eastern Hills, the seed, the grass started growing in there. I don't know if anyone's seen it in the last week or so. It's been about 5 days since I was down there, but I thought it was looking pretty good despite all the dry weather. We still don't have a projected date as to when. Go ahead.
I just said we're playing the West tonight. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Yep, I'll be out there tonight too with PHA Junior League, so I'll go down and check it out.
Mm-hmm.
Still don't know when we can have those holes fully open and ready to go, but hopefully in the next month we'll have a better idea. We had the county am this past weekend with about 88 players in it, so okay turnout, and players thought the courses and conditions were excellent, so always good feedback. I think at some point, and Steve Vicenzi might need to be on the call for this, but the capital expenses for what we spent down at Eastern, and we did the $39,900 earlier this year to redo the main line and get the pump intakes up to standard. Peter's construction for moving the dirt was $70,000, and then $12,300 for hydroseeding. So we're at $122,200 total. And so I just needed to get that number to Steve so that he can work on the bond. It's unclear to me if we need board approval for a number or if I need to ask for that or not.
I think we already gave approval for doing the stuff, so maybe this is just a matter of Steve doing the bond.
Possibly. And I think for the dirt moving and hydroseeding, we approved 75,000, and we knew we were going to go over that. So we're at 82.3. So we might need some other reapproval, but I don't know if we need that at this meeting. I don't think we have enough people at the meeting right now to approve that until Steve comes on. So I might just move past that right now, unless there's some questions. Then we talked about some of the dam removal that's begun, and worried about maintaining our water supply. And Ron and the guys have been down in the creek trying to pull some water over the intakes. Sounds like they need sandbags now. So hopefully we get that taken care of in the next day or two.
Yeah, what's the game plan from your end, Patrick, on helping those guys? I don't think we're thinking you're going to be down in the muck like they have been.
Yeah, I'll start looking for sandbags as soon as we're done. I've been there pretty much every day, and then the contractors have been coming over every day. As far as the board removal, we lowered it a few more boards last night, and then before we left, it didn't look like it affected the pump too much at the time. Like I said, we left around 5 o'clock and there wasn't that much of a drop. When Ron started the pumps, he actually had the screens turning, and then shut those off after a little while, and like I said, the flow seemed fine. I'll check today when I go back down there, and then the contractors will be back again this afternoon to look at it. The plan from the dam removal is sometime next week to pull the rest of the sheet piles. The contractor, Stantec, that did all the design work didn't anticipate the base flow of the creek to be any lower than it is currently right now. So they have some options if that does drop, but they don't believe so, just because the water level based on the boards is getting pretty close to where it'll even out. So they don't anticipate anything happening, but there are a few other options that we have in case the water does decrease up there. So
Are they in the position to jump into action immediately if it does? Because it looks like it's at a critical point.
yeah, the contractor that's doing all of the bank restoration that the dam removal is, I mean, they're not, too far out of town. And then one of the guys is actually on the Great Lakes Fisheries Board. That's kind of the consultant doing the dam removal. So yeah, we're not, I know it's at a critical stage, but if something happens where there's not enough water, they'll have plenty of help, and we can definitely assist around. As far as I've got public services in the loop as well. So
Yeah, it just looks like and sounds like it's at a point where, the course has already changed in like 48 hours, you can tell.
yeah.
So the water that's going on the course is less
Mm-hmm.
than it has been.
Yeah. Yeah. The drought too doesn't help matters, but we are supposed to get some rain tonight. So yeah, we're watching it, and being able to help is not an issue.
Patrick, you seem to have like two different streams there, in the old.
Mhm.
Are they going to try to get it shifted to move it into just one flow?
Yeah. So that large kind of bank that's right along where the pump is, that will be the only stream left once the work is completed. And then, like I said earlier, it'll be deeper right at the pump, and then prior to the pump and after the pump as well. So there won't, on that far kind of southern side of the bank, there won't be any water over there. That'll be just like natural wetland and vegetation. So all the water will flow right by the golf course and the pump.
And when is the excavation going to take place around the pump? And
that'll start the end of July.
Okay. So we've got about 6 weeks of really watching this, and that's how long this project's going to take to run its course.
Yeah. Well, it won't even really take that long. Once the dam comes out, the water will stay at a even rate and an even height. So there won't be any decrease. It's just taking the boards out to get the dam out, in the next few days is the critical part. But like I said, with that base flow, so a lot of the sediment and, like Mike was saying, that one channel that runs along the southern portion of the creek has kind of dried up. And I know they had the kids there stacking rocks yesterday. That's kind of pushed all of that water towards the golf course side. So once the rest of the boards and the dam come out, it's not going to drop any lower. From the calculations that they've made and the depths of the creek, the entire run, they don't anticipate the water going down very much more. So that's why, they're kind of waiting to see what's going to happen. But, Public Services was there yesterday when Ron was putting the boards up, and they've got some things that they can do if something happens, but they don't anticipate anything happening. But again, you're never going to know until things start to come out. But
and again, you're confident that they'll move quickly, because if it goes like 48 hours in the middle of July, it's like we're going to burn up a course real quick.
Yeah. They know, and they're ready to help any way we can. So they know that the golf course is a priority.
Now, was it anticipated and that there's going to be staff time from the golf course and material expense, and who's to pay for that?
I'm not sure.
Is there a way to get that as part of this project and reimburse to the golf course? My understanding, Ron had 6 guys over there yesterday, and he's gonna have over 1,000 in materials.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to talk about that with Sean and see, where the budget's at as far as the dam removal.
Yeah, it would seem like it should be not the golf course's expense. Since we didn't initiate this. Yeah.
Right. I kind of agree with that. Yeah. But then on the other side of things, the way that pump sits in the creek isn't entirely advantageous to the actual irrigation system. The drawings and the conversations that the consultant had about that pump, they were led to believe that the actual arm that went into the creek was just one single, pipe that went in that could be lowered if needed to. And the drawings of how the pump are now weren't anything like what they had back 2 years ago when we started this process. So I don't know, there'll have to be, some conversations offline about it, but I don't know. We'll have to look at the budget and see, but I'm not going to say no. It's definitely.
Yeah, I think it would be appropriate to get it reimbursed.
Mhm.
He had to pull a lot of guys yesterday, it sounded like.
Right. Yeah.
I think the important thing right now is to use as much resources as you can to keep the water flowing, keep track of the hours, keep track of the materials, and we will work it out at some point. I mean, we're all on the same side. So
Mhm.
we should be working out. I think the important thing is to keep really good records.
Yeah.
Yep.
Make sure we have really good records.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dean, you'll probably have to help Ron with that, I would imagine.
Yes. He's pretty good at keeping records, though.
Okay, all right.
Just tell me.
Just sounds like he's got his hands full.
I would suggest doing it on a daily basis. Keep a log. How many guys
Yeah.
you have out there on?
Yeah, just write notes every day.
How many guys you have out there on the 17th, the 18th, right? Exactly. And that way, when it does come time to discussing who's going to pay for it, we'll have good records.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just glad we didn't have a big event coming up this weekend that he had to pull away from. So the timing there was good.
Yeah.
Hey, Dean, have we taken some kind of measures like raise up the moors on the greens just in case?
I can ask that question for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you want to keep it real low and, very dependent on water considering, our lack of rain is becoming legendary. It's supposed to rain tonight, but it's been supposed to rain a lot of times lately and hasn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, not on us. I think we've only had an inch in the last 2 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't think we want to be on the razor's edge there in case something goes south.
We might want to have a subcommittee on climate change contingencies that would include all those things in years going forward, because this isn't going away.
Well, my biggest concern is PETA launching a suit against lost goose habitat. Where are the poor geese going to go?
Oh, they're fine.
I
Hopefully they stay in the
have a
park.
feeling I know where they're gonna go. Number 12 fairway. Dean, do you want to go back and address the expenses over at Eastern Hills? And Steve's on now.
Okay. So Steve, I don't know if we need prove a total towards the bonding yet or not, but I put down the three main expenses we had totaling $122,200.
I mean, if we're ready to, if there's something we need to throw in later, but we can start there. I think it's just good to get it on the books and be done with what we know we have to spend or have spent.
Okay, so Dean, are you asking then for the 122.2?
Yes.
Okay. And had we approved part of it? John thought we did.
Yeah, we approved, I want to say 40,000 to start with the main line and pump intakes. Then we approved 75,000 for the dirt moving and seeding. But we went over that. by a little bit.
Okay, so that's like 115 that we've already approved.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So then it sounds like we need a motion to approve the next 7,200. Is that all?
Probably be easier if we just approve 122,000 that we want to bond 122,200.
In total?
Yes.
I think that'd be best too.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we approve the 122.2 for the capital expenses for Eastern Hills, which would include any prior motions that we would have had for approval. For it, so a total of 122,200.
Have a second to that?
Sure, I will.
Okay. All those in favor?
I,
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. That motion carries. Okay. Dean, anything else?
Just our upcoming events. So tomorrow is the marathon at Eastern Hills. So what a day to have rain, even though we need it. But I might be playing the first few rounds in the rain. That'll be all right. The following weekend we have the Bon Millar at Millen Park, and it's later than normal because of other tournaments and just the way it fell into the schedule. Then that Monday we have the drive, chip, and putt qualifier. So I probably need to get with some of you that have offered to volunteer and tidy up what we need you to do. And if anyone hasn't offered to volunteer, we'll still need volunteers for that. I got some cool hats for everyone to wear yesterday, so you'll look official out there.
all right.
You have me as a volunteer, right?
I believe so. I
Okay.
believe both you and Mike.
Yep.
I would love to volunteer for some of these things, but Mondays, really every day, but Mondays are just horrible for court.
Yeah, I'm on jury duty this week.
Oh,
I have jury duty at the end of July. I just got my notice.
So I got lucky. I didn't have to do anything. So I've completed my responsibility. So lucky me.
I don't think there's any, I think there's only like 2 jury trials this week and next, and they're probably all going to resolve.
But I'm down at States right now. We started our junior golf tournaments today. So this is the first event of the season. And we pretty much have an event every weekday in through the first week of August. So summers are going to be busy now.
Gonna be?
I get to watch a lot of golf instead of play a lot.
Okay. Anything else, Dean, that you want to hit on?
Nope, that's all for my report.
Okay. Okay. How about the capital or Greens Committee?
Well, the one thing that I was concerned about was, considering maybe temporarily raising the moors a little bit at, for the greens at Millen until the danger is past.
Then we can lower them again, please.
You talking smooth or fast?
I'm talking like they have been. They seem to bother you. I don't know.
So for the county am, he didn't have them as fast as he could.
No, he didn't.
But I thought they were, much better speed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you could stop a downhill putt eventually. No, I thought they were great. For some reason though, Eastern seemed slower than normal.
They were pretty slow.
Yeah. I don't know what the deal was. He had quickened them up, and then all of a sudden the day of the event, they were kind of slow. So I don't know what that deal was, but
But overall, Eastern's in good shape.
yeah. I mean, 15's coming along pretty good. 10 still has some scabby areas, and
17 also, I think. 17 green.
not remembering that, but
Like
Yeah,
upper,
he did what he could on 10 by having the pin up front to kind of avoid that.
Yeah.
So it worked out well, I thought. That's about it.
okay, any capital budget committee information report? Dean, Steve,
I think
I think
that's
Mine.
Sean has that info and he's not here.
That's Sean.
okay, move on to the junior golf fundraiser. Everybody just want to go around and say, I've got a foursome or I've got some sponsorships or T-signs so we can start getting the data together, getting it to Dean.
Sure. So I put in for a foursome. I've also, from my group, we're doing a birdie sponsor. Then I've also got Medallion Management. I think they're going to do a birdie sponsor. If not, they'll do a par. So in the past, they've done a hole. Those people that I've asked to do holes in the past, I've asked them to bump it up to either a par or even a birdie. So that's probably going to be coming in. And I've got a couple other who've said they would probably do a hole, but I need to get those names.
Larry and I will have our regular foursome that I know. Working with my past people, I haven't got any commitments back yet. And I will do my T-sign thing where I'll bring my sign back to stick out somewhere for $100.
Mike, I saw something from Shoepan come in online last night. I think they did $200.
Okay, I haven't seen it yet. I sent them info, and that must be what they've done.
Okay, and then I know Larry brought in a gift certificate from the frame maker.
Yeah. If you would share with me when you see it, what it was Jupan sent, because I didn't get a copy of it, I don't believe.
Yeah, I think it came in late last night.
Yeah, good.
Okay, Dean, is there any news on that grant that Dale Sugars?
I have not heard from him. No.
So I've got an Eagle sponsorship. I have a par sponsorship. 1, 2 T signs. Jack Versaw is supposed to buy a T sign. I'll send them to you, Dean, and you tell me what you don't have so I can get with them. My current league came up with about $168, and my previous league was up to 350 plus the last time I spoke to them.
A couple others I remember seeing online, Mike Hensley and PRO Services. I think he did a team as well as a whole sponsor. But I'll compile all that after the marathon and once I recover and start getting you some of that. And I remember, I think Nick Carberry sent
He
a whole
did.
sponsor in, but I haven't seen a whole lot of activity.
I think I've got a total of 4 groups that have said they're going to play. So I'll send it. So Dean, will all send what we've got to you,
Yes.
and then you'll maybe when you get it all compiled, send a copy to all of us,
Yes.
and it'll specify whether if the sponsorship or the T-sign donation has come in, so we'll know to remind people if we have to.
When you say send it in, you mean the form?
Either
Or
the form or the online entry.
Online.
And I've got your forms, John.
I sent one the medallion, and I'm not sure if they're gonna do it online or if they're gonna send in a form, but I'll follow up. I'll hit up my league tonight and probably submit a form.
Dean, do you know anybody at Gull Lake Country Club on the grounds crew? Do you know the groundskeeper?
I don't think I do.
Okay, the manager left a week ago. And so Steve Williams, do you know him? I don't know him. That's who's there now. And he's interim and he could care less. That
Yeah.
they, but he said, I'll run it up the, past the board or something, but it's like he doesn't feel like he's in the position to make any decisions on anything like that. He's just holding it together. They're doing a formal search, so they have no manager.
Yeah, just Joe's son Michael is the head pro there, but he just started this spring, so I don't know if he's going to have authority to approve something like that or not.
He's been there longer than my contact.
Where are you talking about?
Gull Lake Country Club.
Oh,
Yeah, they've always given us at least one foursome to give away. And the gentleman I spoke to, he's only been there a week and he's interim. So he doesn't feel like that's something he wanted to get into.
can members ask for something like that? Because I know a couple of members. Could they?
Yeah, that's what he said to me. And he goes, oh, so you're hitting me up and you're not a member. And I go, yes, that's right. I'm not.
Okay, I
No.
know a couple of members, so I'm going to ask them to get us.
That would be the way to do it. Yeah.
Okay, all
Okay.
right.
I know some, but I don't know them well enough to do that.
And that would be the same for Moores, right? Better to have a member ask.
Dean?
I can ask Eric directly. If
Okay.
we need a member to ask Mitch Wilson, I have Mitch do it, then he's a member there.
Okay, I mean,
But
know
I
a
can
couple-
ask Eric directly.
All right, great.
Yeah, didn't we kind of delegate specific golf courses to when we met a couple Thursdays ago or for that?
Well, we mentioned a bunch of places. And the only name I have by any of them is Steve. We've got Beaches, Ridgeview, Moores, Angels, Harbor Shores, Crystal Mountain. That's me. I've got my name on that. Links,
That's me.
Gull Lake. Those are the only ones we've mentioned so far.
And I've got messages into John and Kyle over at Kalamazoo Country Club, the greenskeeper and the pro. Dean, did we get anything from John Allen by any chance? Do you know?
I think we did. I'll have to double check my emails, but that does sound like something came through online, a whole sponsor.
Okay. All right, good.
Yeah, your name was by John Allen too, Kurt. So great.
Any logistical things, Dean? Like, should we all plan on being there at 7:30 in the morning to help get organized, or the day of, or?
That's a good question. Yeah, because without us having the morning to prep everything, we probably do need some more manpower to get the whole signs out.
So
What's
the
the
people
figure
that
out what
time
we're
you
think,
doing.
show up? 7?
I think 7 would be fine. Yes.
Okay.
We'll tee off at 8:30, so we'll be checking people in probably as early as 7:30, 7:45.
I think you can, flex depending on how the demand is for morning or afternoon. Like Larry and I, we don't care if it's a morning or afternoon. so you can kind of fill us in where you want us, slot us that way as far as our foursome. So, we all might, think in terms of being flexible a little bit to help out and even things out, as best we can.
And how quickly, Dean, do you think we ought to have our act together on the online auction stuff?
Steve did some legwork on it this week. I reached out to Bittergy, but I was only able to leave a message. I didn't win any auctions this week to go down there and have to pick them up to talk to anyone directly. But early next week, I'll get in there and get face to face with someone. Sounds like the ones Steve was coming across weren't really going to pan out. So I'm hoping Bittergy can be treated as more like a sponsorship.
Okay. Since we don't know what we're doing, probably the sooner we know what's going on there, the better, don't you think?
Sure.
We haven't done it before, is what I mean.
I'm surprised.
Right.
He hadn't contacted Bidding Owl yet, because when that's who ROI used for Bidding Owl. It only cost them less than $300 to do that, and they raised, I want to, $4,000 or $5,000 on their online auction. So he hadn't talked with him yet. I'm going to email him and say, give them a call and find out, because that's an easy one. I mean, it's slick, and if it only costs $300, it might be worth it.
Oh, we got to, right now it's like we got to make sure we've got enough to auction off that way
True.
to make it worth $300.
Yeah, right.
That's what I mean. It's like we don't know if it's a fixed upfront cost and a percentage of the auction revenue or what. And the math needs to work. Otherwise, maybe it's not worth it.
Maybe we
I don't know.
raffle or something. Right. Okay.
Dean, I'll email Steve and ask him to keep in touch with you on it and say, hey, we just need to know, we got to get a handle on costs to see if this for real is a good way to go for us. Because we got to hustle up some prizes.
So Steve, is it okay if we email amongst ourselves about progress? How are we doing? Just to kind of pump ourselves up as far as getting prizes and getting things like that?
Yeah, we're good to do that. It's just as long as, actual business and formal decisions that we'll vote on aren't being made. It's kind of a big ticket.
Right. So maybe as we get people, as we get prizes, we can email each other so we all know. If I get an email from Kurt saying, hey, I just got, foursome at the country club, that's going to motivate me. Oh yeah, I'm going to make a call right now and try to do that. So
yeah, that stuff's all fine.
all right, great. I think we should continue to try to do that. If we wait for these meetings, we're not going to get it done.
Right. And I did just get an email back from Steve at Gull Lake Country Club, and he said, thank you, I will check on this. So.
I'm going to ask a member.
That won't hurt.
I'm going to ask, I know two guys that are up there. Okay. All right. I guess the idea is to keep going, keep trying to get people, keep getting prizes.
Is there any other business?
We want to try to meet again regarding the outing before the 4th, or wait till after the, I'll be gone the week of the 4th as well as Thursday and Friday before that. I'll be on email. I can do an email thing, or I can do Zoom.
I'm out of town July 1 through 10.
Yeah, me too. I'm going to try to do something on the 30th.
Yeah. Well, 30th, I'm driving up.
What do you think, Dean? What works for you, Dean? Or maybe we should just do it on our own and try to just do emailing back and forth and see what do we have status.
Yeah, if we were to set something, maybe a Tuesday, like the 29th, we'll have our junior classes in the morning, but at lunchtime, I'd be available. A lot of the other days I'll be helping with the junior tournaments.
Can we do a lunchtime Zoom on the 29th?
That sounds like a great idea.
Okay,
Yeah.
Let's just get a progress report.
great. Is that something that that Dean, you can have the city send out? Or do we use the same one?
I'll defer to Steve on that question,
Work through Sean.
or Sean.
Okay,
Next time he'll show up at the meeting.
where was he today? I forget where he. It's nice, so.
No idea.
I think he's mowing his grass and drinking.
There you go,
beer.
right. Okay, so the 29th, we'll have a Zoom, Tuesday, the 29th. And I'll email Sean in a second and ask if he can get us a Zoom link. All right, keep getting sponsors, keep getting prizes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, any other business?
Yeah, one thing, I've talked about this in the past, but I guess I want to formally request it, that as the west gets redeveloped and back open, I'd like to establish some green teas on there for kids and for senior ladies. I don't think it's a big cost, but it just helps, even it out so that all three nines have green teas available.
Okay, Dean?
We can look into it. I think when we did them, we felt the West was yardage wise okay to be without them, but I'm all for looking into it and making sure that we have the options we need.
Well, I still think that the West Nine provides an opportunity to become a family-oriented destination. So if you're going to have more kids on there, having a green tea would kind of be the right thing to do. So you look into it.
Okay.
Okay, is there a motion to adjourn?
I moved to adjourn.
FYI, there were no public comments. You want to make sure to add that at the end of these meetings before we hang. But anyway,
Yep.
you're good.
Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone.
All righty.
See ya.
Thank you.
Bye.